Kingarees don't need no press. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. It's Thursday, so it's time for another Kingarees TV video. I know y'all are looking at me like, girl, this is late, but better late than never. That's what they say. You're gonna have to forgive me before I reach your face on the 5th day. Praying for all the bills that I pay late. Bitch, I know y'all love my singing. I love to singer. But we have a couple of things to discuss. So this might end up being 2 videos. So if you don't get all the tea with this video, go check out the next one on kingarees.com. But girl, let's get into it. As you all know, it is going down June the 3rd at Coco Studios at Chasing Atlanta reunion for season 3. I am the host and I will be bringing the most epic shade, the most everything. I want to extend a special invitation to those who do not probably have the coin to get in. Contact me at justin@kingarees.com. I want to invite a couple of fans that are interested in going but can't afford it. Girl, hit me up. We have had a lovely sponsor some tickets. So shout out to all the J's that are out here supporting Kingarees and the brand as it continues to stay strong until the end of time. So girl, let me know. Come out. I cannot wait to see you all. As I told you all, shout out to my girl who I just saw not too long ago. I had went to this focus group the other day, and we're gonna get into that. And I saw her leaving work. She said, you know what, I'm gonna speak to you because you said speak to you. If you see me out, she was so cute. If you see me out, please speak to me, honey. Please hug up on me, love up on me, take a picture with me. Do not feel scared, girl, unless I got on some sweatpants. But other than that, I be knowing y'all be out. So let's get to this tea. Act up, you can get snatched up. So now that the city girls are done snatching up verses or whatever, now that the city girls are done, you know, snatching up Jocelyn, or what was the former princess of rap or queen of rap or whatever, girl. We talked about it on the episode of For the Culture Podcast, my interview with Deshaun Harrison. Check that out. Culture Combos, sickening episode. We talked about body politics, female rap, everything. We talked about all of it. So listen to the latest episode of For the Culture Podcast. So the Act Up video came out. It dropped today. I watched it. They had Lil Yachty in it. It was giving me interview tease, some goofy, it was giving me Scream. What was that? Not like, I can't think of the movie where they had the Wayans brothers playing. Like, I can't, it was giving me that. But it was nice. I would say they had, you know, like kind of participation type of situation to, you know, kind of help with the missing of JT, which I understand, like, girl, y'all gotta do something to make it work. But she was not there. But what is funny and why I'm talking about this is that one of the people over at QC were on the phone with JT, and they was telling her, like, sis, we waiting for you to get out, like, we miss you, we need to get this money. And you know, the Act Up video is coming out. She was like, sis is like, sound like JT, like, girl, like, y'all said they're putting out work and I'm in jail. Well, JT, here's the tea. Yes, you are in jail. Yes, Young Miami is pooching around like she is performing at some middle school football pep rally or something. But Young Miami is trying to make it work. She said that she was not interested in this. This was JT's dream, and she's just trying to make sure that it's gonna be here by the time JT gets out of jail. But it don't sound like sis is like that strong on that shit. So much so that they played on that with the joke with Lil Yachty and Young Miami talking about, I think you should say it this way. You need to bring the energy. It was funny. Act Up, Get Snatched Up, like that. I think it's a Summer Bob written by, you know, I think Lil Yachty has something to do with that. Check it out. Let me know what you thought about the video. So we talk about rap. Let's talk about Cardi. Don't need no press. Cardi has a video of press. She's releasing her new single. I think she's dropping a video too Friday. I wasn't as interested about the single, but I am interested about what Cardi B is going to give out as far as visuals, because sis has a sickening team behind her, and I'm interested to see what the visuals are going to look like. If there is a video of the song, I ain't here for that. But we do need to talk about Cardi B. You know, I talked about her counseling shows, and we talked about it as well on the podcast of, you know, her counseling shows to give her time, to give her body time to rest from, you know, the surgeries and stuff she was having. And, you know, people were saying, sis, you need to, like, stop. You need to do the old-fashioned way. You need to go to the gym. And she responded and said, I don't have time to go to the gym. I'm always doing something, so I'm going to do this. Cardi B says, you don't have to explain yourself to nobody. If you want to go out here and spend this money and sculpt this stuff and do all this type of stuff, girl, do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Like, do it. Don't worry about what these people are saying. And I don't like the over policing of women's bodies when it comes to these type of discussions and stuff. We talked about it, how Cardi B and how other female performers or what artists or whatever, when they get through having a child, they gave birth, how they are treated in the industry. Like, you got to get back snatched up. How Beyonce went through that rigorous, like, tragic ass diet to be able to lose the weight to look good, and how often we beat on women like, oh girl, she gained some weight. Same thing with Aisha Curry. So like, it's just so much, and I don't like it. I'm just kind of over it. I want them to just leave. I want them to leave her alone, because sis, she gonna respond to every little detail, every little thing. But Cardi, I am concerned about your health, because I feel like that you are sometimes like heavily working. You were saying in the video, you responded to it and said that, you know, you out here canceling shows, you missing out on millions of dollars, but you have to rest your body. Remember, I just talked about that in my video I dropped Tuesday. Remember, King Reese TV videos drop every Tuesday and Thursday, and we have some content between the middle and stuff. I have a reading the menu video coming out, and a written article about my time as a vegan that's coming out Friday, and some other content. We talked about the importance of rest and how we need to rest our body, and I feel like Cardi hasn't, and now the doctors have stepped in and told her. She said she was scared about how, you know, she was getting on these planes and how her body was swelling up. She didn't like how her body was responding to all this traveling and stuff. Sis needs to rest. And when you do, like, being a performer, doing this work is a lifestyle. Like, you have to be able to make sure that your body is your, like, all of it under capitalism, all our bodies are our machine to make us money to be able to survive in this world. Cardi B, not just her body, but her looks, everything she has to sell there. And she has to rest up to be able to perform, like your vocals, all of that. Like, you have to have the energy. So, like, you might have to change some diet to have more energy and stuff. Like, you're not going to be able to get drunk and tipsy every other week. Not saying that Cardi does that, but the same thing for me. I can't be out here getting drunk and fucked up every day and doing that, because that affects me and how I am. Like, whenever I get asked and get a book to perform somewhere, I always try to make sure I arrive the day before so I can rest. I don't do anything the day before unless it's something involved in the contract where they're asking me to make it to a dinner or something. But I don't do that much. I need to make sure I'm rested and I'm well aware of the things that's being asked of me, because I remember when I was hosting you know, these competitions and stuff a couple years ago. The competition went from 2 o'clock to damn 10 o'clock at night, and this is like constant, and the energy was being drained out of me. Of course, I've gained some weight since then. Like, girl, I don't even do competition no more. That shit is just draining mentally and physically. But Cardi needs her rest. I'm glad that sis is out here getting the rest that she needs. And I wish the best for her. But Cardi, girl, we gotta get it together, girl. We gotta get it together, sis. We have some sickening news to report. Kodak Black is being denied bond. As much as I don't enjoy hearing the news of black men being in jail, because we have so many black men in jail for mess, bullshit, and, you know, charges that are just overzealous. Like, girl, it's not even that serious. But Kodak Black has a history. And I'm not here for it. I'm not a prison abolitionist. I'm probably on my way to it, but I have a long way to go. If you listen to Further Culture Podcast, Tasia has talked about her work in doing prison abolitionist work, and love it. But through listening to people like T and Deshaun and other folks who are prison abolitionists and stuff, I am starting to, you know, understand that and get to it, but I ain't got there yet. So when it comes to talking about people like Kodak Black and the work and the violence that he has been accused of doing to women, it's very concerning. Y'all know, I think the initial charges was something happening to him with, as far as him, like, I think they got him on guns and drugs or something, and then it's like, girl, you already got a history, so we're gonna keep your ass in jail. But the full blog is on kingareads.com. Kodak Black is set to stay in police custody after being arrested by U.S. Marshals in connection to a crime involving weapons. The rapper is also due to appear in court for falsifying information on federal forms to apply for the purchase of 3 firearms. In addition to the charge he is facing for his recent gun-related arrest, Kodak is also looking at time for the sexual assault of a teenage girl in 2016. Period. Jail, period. Shout out to my girl Jessica Foster, one of the contributors on kingareads.com, for putting this up. Is, girl, like, Kodak, like, sis. And then even when, y'all remember when Ebro was asking him questions and stuff, he didn't want to talk about it, how, like, he was going off, and then he ended up going on the Breakfast Club to talk about it. Like, he ended up going on the Breakfast Club and did a whole sit-down interview with the Breakfast Club, laughed and kiki. But y'all already know what the Breakfast Club thing is. Yes, they're mainstream. Charlamagne has been accused of rape. It's a lot. He has talked about his, experiences with using drugs and all that. You can check it out. It's on kinkeries.com. It's a whole blog written about it. But they even called him Charlamagne the rapist and stuff. So Kodak Black being on there didn't surprise me. But I was extremely surprised that Lena Waithe made her way to the Breakfast Club to talk about a situation that is going on, sis. So as you all know, Jason Mitchell is an actor playing on the show. I think he's a main character or something. I've never watched the show before. I heard it was a good show. I heard a lot of people be emotional watching it. I haven't had a chance to check it out. But Jason Mitchell, there was a conversation about him losing jobs and losing his management company or whatever, who was people dropping him. They said that he was doing this sexual harassing behavior on the show The Chi. He was doing it behind the scenes, and one of the actresses, Tiffany Boone, had spoke out about it. She had spoke out and said some things to the folks around there, and she made it known that she didn't feel comfortable. And this was going on since season 1. The Chi currently right now they're writing it for season 3 now. So they're currently in development, working on season 3, writing it. I think season 2 just wrapped up. And this has been going on for 2 or 3 years or whatever. So Ayanna Floyd, who, if my memory is correct, is the showrunner that Lena Waithe put in charge. She did an interview with the Breakfast Club, and she talked about she put a woman of color. I hate when we say women of people of color when we refer to black folks. That's why I say black and brown folks. I make sure to say black. Ayanna Floyd is a black woman. She's not a person of color. But Lena, sis has said that you knew about this. They said that you knew about it. Now, I really was doing some digging and some research and just grasping information about this. And shout out to my girl Latasha. She has a YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link in the description. She talked about it a little bit. She did some very detailed discussion about Lena Waithe. Tasha does a lot of work when it comes to producing shows. She's been doing this shit for years. So I loved her insight at how she talks about how things goes as far as when the shows and stuff and all that. I enjoyed her conversation about that. And I enjoyed her not necessarily just coming down on Lena, but just saying, hey, how do we get past this? What do we do next? And also talked about the intersection of Lena being a black woman, and I'm also gonna say a dark-skinned black woman, a queer woman, all these identities that she holds and how she's been able to get to where she's at. And I hate to say that, but how she failed black women. I just enjoy it. So shout out to Latasha. I'm trying to get to New York. I will be in New York sometime next week. I hope I get a chance to sit down and be a part of something with my girl Latasha. Latasha's been on the grapevine several times. Very educated, creative sister. Y'all go out and support her. Sister's down to earth, and I just love her YouTube channel. She runs 2 things. She has her own personal YouTube channel where she talks about topics. She also has a YouTube channel where she does some shows with my guy Jameer. So just shout out to them over black creators out here doing the damn thing. My ass might need to move to New York one day. But Lena called into the Breakfast Club, and it was kind of like a PR type of thing. Sis called in because you don't want to be sitting down and interviewing folks, see your facial reaction when it comes to something like this. So she called in. It was a 40-minute interview where she talked to Charlamagne The God. Now I'm gonna talk about just a little bit. I ain't got too much to talk about. Maybe we'll cover it on an in the middle or revamped in the middle that we're currently working on. And we also will be talking about on For the Culture podcast coming up next Wednesday. But here's my thoughts. Sis came and she talked about this. And she talked to Charlamagne The God. First of all, the Breakfast Club, like I said, is mainstream. Yeah, I get it out. But it's just it was kind of telling for her to talk to Charlamagne. And Charlamagne really did not necessarily hold her feet to the fire. And like, if you're a reporter, whatever, you journalist and doing all this type of shit, you need to be holding them accountable. And it seems like Charlamagne was trying to. I don't know if Charlamagne had the range to even have a conversation. We're talking about rape and holding folks accountable. That's a whole nother story. But Lena talked for 40 minutes and I'm still confused. It seems like Lena knew what was going on, and she said she put a woman of color in a position to be able to fix that. She said she had a conversation with Jason and kind of told that, you know, stuff was inappropriate and da-da-da. And I think this was season 1, so it sounded like she knew, and she didn't have that much power over the show. She sold the show, she wrote the show, and she gave it to them. She pitched it, they got it. So she doesn't have that much control and stuff over it. And then she talked about some, you know, why would I allow this to happen to my brand, my name? Not necessarily, she didn't use the word brand, but my name is on this. And Lena, I'm gonna say this, sis, it looks bad because people have propped you up because of the identities that you hold. So for you to kind of like, a black woman has said, you know, hey, this is how I feel, and there's not been that much work done to fix that and get it together. It's very, very, very concerning. And I don't want to come hard on her, but if sis does not get this shit together, it ain't gonna look pretty. It's not gonna look pretty, because the people who are talking about this and they're holding the conversation and holding you to the fire are folks who take this, like, are very serious about this Me Too movement, very serious about protecting black women, as they should. And they are the first people to hear about it. And from them talking about it on social media and keeping the conversation going, and this has now allowed other stuff to come out, like Ayanna speaking up. I mean, she was basically the whistleblower, for lack of better words, and said, you know, hey, this is what's going on. And she's like throwing Lena ass under the bus. And it sounds like that, you know, the showrunner, Ayanna Floyd, is, you know, saying, like, she's out here saying, no, like, this shit is a mess. Like, this shit has been going on. And Lena, like, it does not look good, sis. It don't look cute. You went on the Breakfast Club. The folks who are out here talking about this shit and asked you, I remember somebody tweeted you and asked you after you responded, because I was so here for what she did for my girl Lala when she, you know, hosted the Jimmy Kimmel show. I like that. Is it the Jimmy Kimmel show or whoever the hell it is? I like that she had these black creators on here. I love that. But sis, that shit don't matter if you're not even protecting the black creators who are under you. Yes, you might not have been there, but you knew about it. And you should have been doing everything in your power to stop that shit. We cannot keep talking about this shit. Now I'm getting pissed off. Cannot keep talking about these politics and these things that we're saying. Can't keep having these sound bites, these things. And then when it comes to protecting these folks and doing the work, you're not showing up. You're not showing up. You're not showing up. It does not matter. Like, at this point, everybody knows what to say, how to say it at this point in the game. But are you doing the work to protect these black women out here? That's what's important. That's what pisses me off. Because everybody, yeah, people of color, black men, saying all these buzzwords, all these cute things on social media, Twitter, YouTube, in these interviews, all this shit. Like, these people are saying all of this shit, but never are doing the work, and it's so irritating. And I cannot wait till we get to the point, okay, sis, you talking all this, but what work are you doing boots on ground? Are you involved in some organizing? Are you involved in protecting these black folks? Or are you out here just talking about this shit to get some damn money? Because that's what I'm seeing. This is a product of this, and I feel bad for her as a person. Like, I feel bad for her. But you can't be out here campaigning Me Too, and then some shit happen, and then because some person tweeted her and asked her, said, hey sis, I see that you out here online now. Are you going to address the conversation about Jason? Sis responded to her and said, I added my comment. This is what she tweeted on Twitter. Sis, that ain't it. It ain't it. It ain't it. That's not the response that you give for something that serious. I added my comment. You should have just not responded at all. You should have just ignored it. But you responded, and now they grilling your ass. Now, can Lena come from this? Absolutely. It's gonna be hard because Lena is a black queer woman. She's not gonna get the same chance as all these other folks, all these other white men who have done it and got away for it for years. She's not gonna do that. It's not gonna happen for her. It's not gonna happen. That's why I'm pissed off, because I'm just like, sis, you got to work, unfortunately, harder than them. And we're talking about another black woman. That's what's important to me. A black woman, you failed them. You failed them. You failed them. And there's not no telling what's gonna happen with this show now. So, with that being said, Jason Mitchell, let me get on your ass, because I don't want to focus so much energy on just the folks who did protect, but the person who is the perpetrator. And that is Jason Mitchell. We have to make sure that we are also holding space for the person who went through that, which is Tiffany Boone. She went through hell. I can imagine being like, I can imagine that. But I can imagine being in a hostile environment where you're working with somebody you don't feel comfortable with and you have to. Like, that was my situation when I worked at a job in Memphis, Tennessee, and this person was very much homophobic and said derogatory things about me. And I said it to management, let them know. Management did nothing about it until it blew up. And when it blew up, they didn't even fire this person. They only suspended them and had me in a hostile working environment and cut my hours because I spoke about this shit. So Jason Mitchell, not only did the folks say that you did it on The Shine, they also said that you did it on the show Desperado. Like, that's why they said, girl, you just can't get it right. Like, you just cannot get it right. And I love how Latasha talked about, in the video when she was talking about this, she said that, you know, sexual harassment and rape and all that is not necessarily about sex or being attracted to that person. It's about power. And now that he's been like cast aside, like folks ain't gonna work with him, he's like, girl, no ma'am, you've lost your power now. And Latasha asked, is it worth it? Perfect question, because he probably loved to be in a position of power. Like, ain't nobody gonna touch me. Now you don't have a job. Now your ass don't have a job. I mean, you probably gonna end up working at Baskin Robbins. Not something's wrong with working at Baskin Robbins, because bitch, I love some ice cream. But for somebody who was doing something what they thought, I'm thinking they're passionate about, to go to something like this is very concerning. So that's my thoughts. I know I spent a minute on it, but I was just very disappointed. And I hate that for Tiffany Boone. I hate that she had to go through this. But we have to make sure that we're out here protecting our black folks. We have to make sure. And that's why we have to talk about this representation shit. Because we talk about, oh, representation. Have a black person there. Have a queer person here. But what are their politics? And not necessarily what are their politics when it comes to talking, but what work have they done to support their politics? Because since I can't go off of this, I need to see this. I need to see this.
Conversion therapy.